Well, there's quite a general wave of indignation. We've seen from the different capitals exactly the same kind of language. The British Prime Minister Keir Starmer calling the US threats just wrong. Ulf Kristersson, the Swedish Prime Minister, saying that Europe will not be intimidated. It's the same language everywhere, except for an interesting euphemism from the Danish Foreign Affairs Minister Lars Løkke Rasmussen, who said it was surprising. He was the one who was with his Greenlandic counterpart at Washington in talks last week. Obviously, it didn't work out. And the most interesting part, of course, is what the EU says, because it seems that we have now a common reaction which is going to be put into play. The first reaction was actually the president of the European Councils, that is Antonio Costa, who was yesterday at Asunción in Paraguay, and who said that the EU would at any cost and in any situation defend the rights of the territory of a sovereign state, and especially an EU member. So that's what we are dealing with today. The only disappointing part is actually the official communique from Ursula von der Leyen and Antonio Costa together, because in there is also a call for dialogue, which is far lower as the expectations of the countries within the EU, which are part of the eight threatened by Donald Trump. Obviously, Britain and Norway are not EU members. The six others are counting on their EU allies to present with a united front against these new blackmail, if you will, that Donald Trump is presenting them with.
Yeah, so on one hand, you have Donald Trump, who had said all options are on the table. His administration has not ruled out taking Greenland by force. On the other hand, you have the EU, as you say, saying they'll do whatever they need to defend Greenland at all costs. What's next, Pierre?
Well, the next step is the meeting of the ambassadors here. They're called the permanent representatives. They are meeting at 1700 Brussels time. They are going to discuss the options that are on the table. The good thing, as I was saying, is that they are dealing with this in a coordinated manner. That was what Antonio Costa wished for yesterday. A range of options are on the table. Obviously, the EU reciprocal tariffs that were edicted last year when the tariffs offensive from Washington started have been suspended by the EU. They could be reinstated. There are two of them, two huge waves of tariffs against specific products from the United States as per importation to the EU. There is also a very powerful tool which has not been used yet. It's the anti-coercion instrument from the EU, which could impose lift all operating conditions for example, tech giants in Europe, suspend services, and a whole range of measures against US investments for protecting the EU. And there is also another step later in the week, because the Euro MEPs are going to be voting on the reciprocal tariffs that were to be granted to the US. It has not been voted on yet. That is tariffs, specific tariffs more beneficial to the US steel, for instance. And this vote could go very wrong in the course of the week, obviously.